Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Well, the person who I'm trying not to get in, I don't want to give him any credit, but someone who's supportive of me just sent me a letter that he had sent a copy off to this Andy Martin, because it turns out, and I didn't even know it yet, Andy Martin decided that it wasn't good enough, the nonsense he portrayed yesterday, which I think you discussed.
I haven't talked about it yet.
Okay, well,
I wasn't on live last night. We were rebuilding our studio. I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody yet.
Well, you'll go with that, and I just sent you the new one. He now has, he asked the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania to investigate my bizarre litigation behavior. I hate to talk about anyone, but...
well, let me ask you a question. How bizarre is your litigation?
Well, I don't think it's bizarre at all. I think the bizarre person is the person putting out these daily news releases to try to get people to listen to him, and I just think that, we should be on a common goal here, and that is to find out the truth about Obama, but he's on a common goal to try to stir controversy, I guess, if people will buy his book. I hope people don't buy his book. I hope people take this guy. There's a lot of negativisms on him, which I can't mention. I've read it on the Internet, but I don't want to get into this back and forth. But I'll tell you one thing. He just violated his, if he is licensed attorney, which I'm not sure he is, he just violated his, because if you file a complaint to the disciplinary board, it's not supposed to be publicized, which is what he just did. So he keeps violating rule after rule after rule. He says, I'm in the wrong court, and I'm doing this wrong, and I've done nothing wrong. I'm proceeding. People are supporting me. I think he's jealous or whatever it is, but I can't get into that. I can't waste my time on it, but it's just disturbing to know that he has nothing better to do than to sit here and try to take me apart, which is no justification for that, and whereas I'm spending 20 hours a day in my efforts to find out the truth about Obama because we have to enforce our U.S. Constitution.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
You there? I filed a lawsuit against Barack Obama today.
Okay.
I filed a lawsuit against Barack Obama out of Texas and Oklahoma. And I set up a public trust that our attorney, Mr. Todd Nalligan, is in the process of setting up for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to take money off of Patriot Brigade Radio. We're going to look for about 500,000 people to come over and give $2. We're looking for $1 million. All of this goes into the public trust, and all of it is going to go to attorney's fees to file a lawsuit against Barack Obama for one thing and one thing only in the U.S. Supreme Court, and that is a Hawaiian birth certificate. That's all. If he cannot produce a Hawaiian birth certificate based on his statements and the information he filled out with the president when he became or began as a candidate of the president of the United States, then technically there is no birth certificate.
I'm sure there's no birth certificate.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's in Kenya or anything else. Here's what we're doing.
I'm sure there's a Kenyan birth certificate. I mean, he was born. I mean, we know
he was born.
He was born, and where he was born, someone issued a birth certificate. So that I'll disagree with you. I mean, there is a birth certificate.
I didn't say there wasn't. I said I want a Hawaiian birth certificate because that's what he listed. Mm-hmm. And if anybody had done any other research, we wouldn't be in this thing with Andy Martin or you or anybody else.
Right.
There's a Hawaiian birth certificate because that is what Barack Obama listed as to where he was born. Therefore, Hawaii must have a Hawaiian birth certificate. Jerome Corsi goes to Hawaii. He's still down there. And I talked with Jerome. He's saying one thing and one thing only, that the birth certificate has been sealed despite everything else that is taking place. So this entire issue is just starting to come unraveled and more unraveled and more unraveled. And then I find out earlier today, that John McCain, and his camp has filed a lawsuit against Barack Obama. Have you heard anything about this?
No, I haven't.
None at all? Okay. He's filed a lawsuit against Barack Obama as well. Not to mention the fact
well,
that...
on what basis?
I don't know. I haven't had an opportunity to read it. I haven't had an opportunity to see what the deal is.
Okay.
So, I got a question for you. Why didn't you file a public trust in order to do this?
I'm not sure exactly what you did.
A public trust, in other words, a trust, a trust fund that any attorney in the whole world can file and set it up aside as basically an escrow account for money to come into so that money is distributed publicly and the information and all the funds, anything that comes in, we know where it's going.
Well, I'm glad you did. I didn't do it. I didn't think of that. My goal has been anything I filed, I think I've been doing properly. With the federal case and now with the new federal case in Washington, the Federal False Claims Act. I think that act is going to really hold them in because the federal the U.S. Supreme Court has previously ruled that a person like me has standing in that case. So I'm going to go after Obama full steam ahead on that, and make him produce documentation there. If not, he's not a U.S. senator, and those monies have to come back into.
Well, let me ask you another question, Phil. Here's something else too. Based on my attorney's recommendation, and I have a very high-powered attorney who's taking this case down in Dallas, Texas. Actually, 6 of them who are behind this: 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans, and not to mention the ones that we have in Oklahoma City, and all of them, every one of them, with let's see, 8.5 hours worth of phone calls all day long today. I finally figured out the who, the why, the wire, the what court it needs to be filed into. And there's no writ of satorium or whatever that thing's called involved in it at all. This is a flat-out lawsuit that is going straight to the U.S. Supreme Court. It's not going through any lower courts. It's going straight to the U.S. Supreme Court because it's constitutional based. A constitutional attorney can get it in there and get it in there in a hurry. I'm trying to figure out how come you didn't do that.
Again, another approach. I'm not going to. Don't second guess.
I'm not second guess. I'm asking a straight question.
I didn't think of that. That's a great approach. I hope it works. My goal is to get the Constitution followed. Any help that can be, anybody else that does it. I think I brought the issue to the forefront.
I think you did. There's no question about it.
And if anyone else can do to move this to the direction where we get a final decision, I'll be thrilled. I'm not trying to look for any accolades here. I'm looking to get the goal done. The goal done is that this Obama, in my opinion, is a fraud, a phony. It's the biggest hoax ever.
Right, but as I stated the other night, everything that you have said so far in this case, Phil, and all the national attention that you have gotten, you have done one thing and one thing only, and that is be hopeful. It's time for America to take back their country, Phil.
Okay, I'm not fighting you. I'm just a little disturbed about this on another thing that, he shouldn't even get 2 inches of our
It hasn't got anything to do with Andy at this point. It's got everything to do with you and Andy.
Yeah.
You and Andy, because both of you guys have taken this element that so many people, as I stated the other night, were so hopeful for, put all of their eggs in one basket, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let these people down. I put my own money up, $5,000 to get this started.
Well, that's terrific. I wish you luck on yours, and then we work together. The common goal here is get the truth. If I'm wrong, if we're wrong, let them produce the documents already, and we'll withdraw our cases. But I'm sure he doesn't have the appropriate legal documents because they would have been produced a long time ago. I think it's this entire hoax. I hope that when it's over, the criminal authorities look at Howard Dean, the officials of the Democratic National Committee, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and the top campaign officials. And I hope when they do that, I hope that certain people are arrested, certain people are tried, and let the court system deal with them.
Speaking of that, Phil, let me ask you a question. If Andy actually calls on this deal with the Bar Association, whatever, in regard to you and you taking money from the American public and finds out where they did with it or finds out where it went, is that going to land you in hot water, or is he just calling you out in regard to this?
No, he's trying to say it's not only money. He's trying to say my litigation's wrong, everything's wrong. Andy is wrong.
Is your litigation wrong?
No.
I just said that I could take it straight to the U.S. Supreme Court via a constitutional attorney, and we're going to do that. So is your litigation wrong?
No, it's not wrong.
Then why hasn't it been seen by a judge?
Wait, you know what? I'm getting off. I'm not going to start arguing with you over it.
Okay.
It's a different attorney's approach. What I did here is proper. I should have standing in the district court. Judge Zirk is wrong. We gave him 6 reasons where I had standing. If you're going in directly, God bless your attorneys. I don't want to get in a hassle with you, and I'm not going to play devil's advocate. There's different approaches can be taken. But
I'm just asking questions, Phil.
I'm correct.
Phil, I'm just asking questions. I'm not pointing fingers.
But I know. But, as soon as we come up with
I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm asking serious questions. I'm asking serious questions, and this audience wants to know what the hell happened to their money, Phil. Where'd their money go, Phil? That's what I want to know. You know what? Get the hell off my phone. The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, is that you've been had, and I'm going to say it. I almost said it to his face. You've been had. You've been had. You've been had over and over again because you let yourself be led down a road because of fear. And fear is the only thing. Fear is the little mind killer, and none of us have little minds, ladies and gentlemen. We all are smart. Somebody just wrote to me that the torch has been passed. No, it didn't. I took it.